breaking at this hour. This is India Today news break that has been confirmed. Health Minister Mansukh Mandaviya has said Bharat Biotech nasal vaccine has been given approval and is going to be added to the Cowin platform. India Today, remember, broke this story yesterday, the only channel to break the story. Health Ministry says to be added on Cowin platform today itself is what we've been given to understand. So finally, the nasal vaccine is going to be rolled out. Given that experts have called for rolling out of this vaccine amongst the population, easy to deliver in terms of administration, and this vaccine already has got the approval. So it is just procedural to add it to the Cowin platform today itself, and it is going to be rolled out, the modalities of which is going to be worked out. Health Ministry sources are telling India Today that Cowin is now going to have the nasal vaccine in its list as well, which means that we can avail of this. And this is a vaccine that's going to be rolled out. It can be used as a third dose. The modalities of the same will be worked out, and we'll be getting in more details. However, at the time when the country is anticipating a surge in cases of COVID-19 and the Government of India really leaving no stone unturned to prepare for the same, we know that the nasal vaccine that has been developed by Bharat Biotech is going to be rolled out, is what we understand. In fact, Govt is the world's first intranasal vaccine to receive both primary series and heterologous booster approval. In that sense, this is going to be rolled out. In heterologous boosting, a person administered a different vaccine from the one that was used for the primary dose series. This is the intranasal vaccine for COVID. It's received approval. It's also earlier received approval under restricted use in emergency situation for ages 18 and above for primary 2-dose schedule. This is the vaccine that has been developed by Bharat Biotech International Limited. This is a recombinant replication deficient adenovirus vectored vaccine. Rahul Gautam has more details on that. Rahul, take us through the modalities of how this is going to be rolled out, who all are going to be eligible. This is going to be the precaution dose. Tell us more.
Well, what we're learning now that Bharat Biotech nasal vaccine has been given approval and will be added to the Cowin portal. Now, obviously, following this, eligible people will now be taking these vaccines as government is insisting upon increasing the coverage as far as inoculated people are concerned. Also, we've been informed that it will be used as booster shots and it will be available first in private hospitals. As far as hospitals, they have put it on record that now it has officially been included in COVID-19 vaccination program. Now, obviously, this comes as an important move, given the fact that government, we all know, is taking this a new threat very seriously, and therefore they have decided to increase the coverage as far as vaccination is concerned, and therefore this nasal vaccine will now be part of Cowin portal. Anybody who's eligible can go over there, and then they can book the slots appointment, and then they can get their shot. So obviously, it's an important decision, given the fact that we all know that Prime Minister himself took, in this important meeting and held deliberations with all the senior officials and assessed the preparedness. And this comes as another move, just to tell people that India is all set and all prepared to tackle this upcoming threat.
So what I want to know is that this is a vaccine that has got the approval already. There was a bit of a delay in rolling it out. Talk to us a little more about the production. In fact, be with us. Be with us. I'm just going to come back to you. N.K. Arora is also now joining us. Dr. Arora, thank you so much for your time. Sneha this side. This is a big development and announcement coming in from the Minister that this is going to be rolled out. You, of course, as the chairman of the National Institute of Health and Family Welfare and the Technical Expert Committee have already advised to the government that this is a vaccine that is cleared and can be used as a precaution dose?
Yes, you're absolutely right. In fact, intranasal vaccine is another example of India's prowess in research and development of vaccine arena. And this is probably the world's second intranasal vaccine, which has been given regulatory approval. It's very simple to administer. You put a few drops in your both nostrils and that's it. And the advantage this vaccine provides is that it protects and provides immunological barrier in your respiratory tract because the virus enters through the respiratory tract. In this way, this is considered a milestone and a step forward towards our fight against COVID, and this has been approved for as a booster dose or a precaution dose.
So, Dr. Arora, this essentially is a third dose in the country that is going to be given to all of those people who've not taken the third dose, or what is popularly known as booster dose here, isn't it?
Or a precaution dose.
The precaution dose, yes.
Precaution dose.
Yes, you call it the precaution dose for the right reasons, but this is for those people who have not taken it above the age of 18 essentially?
In fact, I would request everybody who has not taken, anybody above the age of 18 years who has not taken any precaution dose so far, and in fact there are huge numbers. We have just about 27% coverage above the age of 18 years who have taken precaution. So almost 80% of us have not taken, and I would request that all of them go and get a precaution dose. We have in fact a bouquet of precaution dose. We have Carbovax, and now this is the new addition, intranasal vaccine. Either of these vaccines, whichever is available, people should go and take these precaution dose.
Also a couple of more questions to you, Dr. Arora. You really are difficult to catch essentially, as our experience shows. I want to ask you, what about the production of this vaccine? What has been the kind of communication from the government to Bharat Biotech? What is our capacity? How soon can we roll this out? And let this be available in a way that maximum people can go and take it, because our precaution dose uptake is really dismal. It's as low as 27%, isn't it?
So as far as, see, you are asking all program-related questions, and unfortunately I cannot answer that. The only thing I can answer is, from the company, I know that they have huge production capacity, and the ramping up of the production is also not something difficult. And so the vaccine should be available as much as the country requires. But the process of rollout and what are the other questions you are asking, I would request you to ask somebody in the program division.
Okay. Other than that, I'm going to talk to you about the scientific aspect of it and what does data really show. If you could give a sense of, and a lot of people are asking this question, Dr. Arora, please answer. Is a fourth dose really required in India from the existing basket of vaccines that we have? A lot of people who've taken the precaution dose are worried about going ahead and taking a fourth dose. What would you advise, sir?
At the moment, immediate requirement is to have this third dose, and that's it. I think that's the most important thing. हम अपना पहिया चौथे पहिए की तब बात करें जब पहले तीसरा पहिया तो ठीक हो जाए.
Dr. Arora, I also want to ask you, a lot of doctors and experts have spoken about the fact that there is no need to go ahead and take more vaccines unless it's a bivalent vaccine or it's a variant-specific vaccine. Where does India stand on that front?
Okay. So India is already, I am aware there are 2 or 3 products under production for what is called variant-specific vaccine, or it can be bivalent, that there is a Wuhan strain plus one of the new strains or Omicron strain.
Okay.
These are under various stages of production, and so that's what I know. So we are getting ready for those vaccines.
Okay.
But even WHO has not recommended any of these variant-specific vaccines, although there are some in the global market. But
I want to ask you, which are these vaccines, Dr. Arora, which are being looked at for, for being used as variant-specific vaccines, or bivalent vaccines?
There are 2 or 3 companies.
Which
the country is already in that direction. So I would like to assure that we are on that path, and as and when required, those vaccines will be available for masses.
So these are vaccines being developed by the Serum Institute again and Bharat Biotech?
Yeah, there are other companies also.
Which are these, sir?
I think that is not important. The important is when are they going to come? And I'm sure they will be available very soon, in next a couple of months, they should be available.
Okay, that's a big breaking story that you've given us, a big breaking piece of information. I'm going to thank you for the moment, Dr. Arora. As always, a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much for joining us. So that was Dr. Arora. Remember, he's heading the panel that is advising the government on the way forward on immunization for COVID. And this is extremely important. He said the country is working in the direction of developing variant-specific and bivalent vaccines.